Hey guys, so there's this new meme called Big Chungus. So I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm going to sell Big Chungus to GameStop, guys. But before we do that, I'm going to try and buy Big Chungus from GameStop. So let's check this out. Hey guys, you got a Big Chungus?
Chunga, 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 chunga banga, chunga banga, chunga banga, chunga banga, chunga chunga banga, chunga banga, chunga banga, chunga banga.
Well, what do you know, guys? They did not have Big Chungus. So, looks like now I'm actually gonna have to do what I was supposed to do in the video, and that's sell Big Chungus. So, I'm gonna go to Target. Hey man, do you have Big Chungus? Oh, looks like they didn't have Big Chungus either, so I'm gonna have to buy these games. Okay, so guys, I bought a game for PS4 to make PS4 Big Chungus. I also bought Adventure Time for Xbox, but it turned into Call of Duty War. Okay, so basically, I bought these games, and I'm gonna turn them into Big Chungus games. Alright guys, I'm gonna turn them into Big Chungus games. I'm gonna keep repeating myself to add on that watch time. Okay guys? Hey guys, so before we get into the actual video, I'm going to make these Big Chungus games for 7 whole minutes, which is over half of the video time. So somehow I'm gonna stretch out literal footage of me cutting out paper and putting it into a case for 7 minutes long. So hope you enjoy me printing out paper. Would you look at that, guys? We put in the Big Chungus picture onto the DVD and onto the case. Now it says Big Chungus. Now it's time to actually go to GameStop and sell them Big Chungus. Okay, hello GameStop. This is Big Chungus. Oh, looks like they cannot buy Big Chungus. Oh, what is this? Thank you. This person just bought my Big Chungus. Okay, guys, so if you don't know, this person bought my Big Chungus. So, that's pretty epic. So he basically bought the Big Chungus. So that's, like, really epic. So I hope you enjoyed my video, or the actual part of the video that was supposed to be. The video was only about 2 minutes long. The rest of it was just filler of me talking about how I'm going to do it. So, I really hope you enjoyed that, and, yeah, see you guys later.
Sell some Big Chungus, folks. My Big Chungus. He was a pretty good sport compared to the last GameStop employee I asked. This kid literally walks in the door. He hears Big Chungus.
So guys, welcome to part 2 of my Big Chungus series video. So basically, I made this video about Big Chungus, what do you mean? And got like millions of views, so I'm basically making a part 2. This is about eBay and how I put on my Xbox 360 Big Chungus on eBay. And bro, people bid $900,000 on Epic. But before we get into this video, I'm going to talk about what happened in the first video, because you probably haven't seen that video. Like, you haven't seen that video. So basically, in that video, it's like 10 minutes of filler, 5 more minutes of filler, and like 2 minutes of me actually trying to sell Big Chungus, and they're like, no man, you can't sell Big Chungus. So that's pretty cool. But then, this guy bought my Big Chungus. And about that guy buying the Big Chungus, there's been a lot of people in the comments saying that I scammed him off of his $10 with my fake Big Chungus game. But apparently he thinks that I was the one who got scammed, and I guess that's what I'm gonna go with. Basically, I found this guy, and I'm just gonna meet up with him, and we're just gonna like talk for a bit about like Big Chungus, how it's a funny haha, and that's gonna be like the rest of half the video. So that's gonna be cool. Oh hey man, what's up? So yeah, so you bought my Big Chungus game. Why'd you do that? Yeah, Big Chungus, funny meme, man. Man, okay, yeah, Big Chungus. Do you know Big Chungus? I put Big Chungus on eBay. Big Chungus eBay. Big Chungus make a lot of money on eBay. Okay, so guys, I just talked to that guy. So I just talked to that guy. So now I'm gonna talk about the eBay thing now, guys. So basically, I put the Xbox One. He bought the PlayStation 4 one last video, but I put the Xbox One on eBay, starting bid one penny, and now it's at like $90,000 on eBay. So that basically means someone's gonna buy it for that much money. Epic, like totally. So I'm just gonna talk for like 10 more minutes about how it's just on eBay and it's like a lot of people bid on it and it's like kind of funny. So I'm just gonna keep like talking about that and keep like saying the same stuff, basically about how it's on eBay. And I mean, I said something about it, but not really. It's just at the bidding price of 90,000, and like someone's gonna buy it. But even though eBay, you don't even have to do it. They're all just fake bids, and you can go back on it, and you don't actually have to pay that amount because you don't have to have it confirmed. Paying option to buy something on eBay. So I'm hope you guys enjoyed.
Big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus. Yeah, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus. Big Chungus. Be a big Chungus. My big Chungus. Two big Chungus. Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. For big Chungus. 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 Or big Chungus. The big Chungus. Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. The big Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. Big Chungus. Chungus. Big 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 Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, Chungus, they're big Chungus, 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 big old Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, big Chungus, oh big Chungus, 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 my Chungus, Chungus on my big Chungus, big Chungus, my big Chungus, 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 Chungus up to the big Chungus.